In our previous message, we spoke about the parsha of this week of Shoftim v'Shoitrim, the judges and the enforcers of the law, of the Yoyatzair, the advisors. Today, I want to focus on another detail, but an important one, about the parsha of Shoftim. The parasha of Shoftim is always read on the first week, the first Shabbat of the month of Elul. Obviously, there is an intrinsic relationship between the teachings of the Parshat Shoftim and the month of Elul. And here is a very obvious one. The Torah starts with the following words. Shoftim v'shoitrim titelecha b'chol shorecha. You should have judges and enforcers, police as we call them, in all your gates. And it continues, v'shaftu es ha'am mishpat tzedek, and they should judge rightfully. They should judge honestly. Meaning, Lo yisatem mishpat, do not bend the rules. Lo yisaker panim, don't show favoritism. V'lo yisikach shoichat, and don't take any bribes. Talking about a judge. Why? Ki ha-shoichat ya'aver einei chachamim, because a bribery tends to blind the eye even of the chacham, the wise man. V'salev divrei tzadikim, and can corrupt, bend the words of a tzaddik. Continues tzedek, tzedek, tirdoiv, always look for justice. And here's a question. The Torah speaks about a tzaddik. The Torah speaks about someone who is a chacham. Where the Torah identifies this individual as a chacham. The Torah testifies on this individual that he's a tzaddik. So when the Torah says, be just, does the Torah have to specify, don't take a bribe? Anyone and everyone knows that bribes are blinding. Why is it necessary to spell it out? One explanation is that the Torah speaks about the subtle bribe. Obviously, if a person is going to come with an envelope with a check, but hopefully has backing, and offers it, that's an obvious bribe. But there can be subtle bribes. Even just as very demonstratively getting up when the Rav comes in, offering him a chair. There's a fascinating story with the Chassam Sofer, one of the great legal minds approximately 200 years ago in Czechoslovakia, Rabbi Zushe Silberstein, who was part of a beis din dealing with two litigants. At one moment, the Chassam Sofer recused themselves from this rendering judgment. The other rabbis, his colleagues, were wondering why. He says, I just feel that would be the right thing, without being able to point a finger as to why. Months later, he realized that one of the litigants, unbeknownst to him, has slipped an envelope with money into one of his jackets. Although he was not aware of it, somehow it created a feeling of specific pulling him to this litigant without knowing why. That's the power of a bribe. And therefore he recused himself. And that's what the Torah says, one has to be extremely careful about it. Now, what does it have to do with us with the month of Elul? And here is the obvious. The month of Elul is the month of judgment. We have to judge ourselves. We have to take stock of our behavior of the entire year. Where have we succeeded and where have we failed? Where have we accomplished and where have we not accomplished? Obviously, we're talking in a spiritual, personal life. Says the Torah, Shoftim v'shoitrim titelecha b'chol she'orecha, in your personal gates, in your eyes, in your ears, in your mouth, in your brain, in your heart. These are the gates. These are the vessels. What I think, what I see, what did I listen to? What did I say? Says the Torah, careful, don't judge yourself. Because you are blinded. You could be the greatest tzaddik, the wisest of all men. But when it comes to yourself, there is no more powerful bribe than self-love. Love covers all blemishes. When we love someone, we see absolutely no faults. How much more so about ourselves? Says the Torah, Judge yourself rightfully. Who can help you do it? Said the Rabbi, the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avot, Asay lecharav, have your own mentor. And the Rabbi begged, and the Rabbi encourages every single one to have their own personal mentor, their own personal Rav, who is not going to tell me what I want to hear, but is willing to tell me the truth, even these that I don't want to hear. Who really has my spiritual interest in his mind. And it really means the best for me, even telling me those things that I might not want to hear. So this is the good time to appoint yourself a Rav like this, speak to the Rav, and have him help us find the proper direction. And on this note, we ask God, you said you're coming out towards the Melech Basade, the king in the field. Please send us the ultimate judge, Mashiach. Yes, we're ready for him.